Sean Haney here with RealAgriculture.com on the Monsanto Momentum Tour in Carsland, Alberta. And right now I'm joined by...
Bruce McKinnon.
Bruce! Longtime friend of Real Ag. You've been on here lots.
It's been a while though.
It's been a while. Yeah, old time's sake. So, Bruce, what's your responsibility with Monsanto?
Currently now I am a agronomist with DeKalb, so I cover the southern, basically Highway 1 South, working with the growers, retails, and working with all three crops, canola, corn, and now working with soybeans, so which is kind of exciting.
We're going to talk about Blackleg.
Okay.
Now, I've talked to 3 canola breeders in the past 30 days, and I've all asked them what's the biggest challenge that canola has in front of them. All 3 right away said, hands down, Blackleg.
Yep.
Do you think farmers realize that?
No. Until they have Blackleg in their fields.
Okay. So we hear lots about Australia and Blackleg issues. So
yeah.
Why is this still such a... Why is this such a problem still?
The Blackleg is just, as a disease, it's just a powerful disease that seems to be able to adapt to whatever we throw at it. And as we've pushed canola rotations, tightened canola rotations, we've allowed that to develop. Blackleg started to come back, and we've been a little complacent because we thought we had the resistance built in and we thought we had the strains covered. But now we're seeing that that's not the case, as it's starting to break down in different areas. So
it aggressively adapts.
It very aggressively adapts, and it can be very detrimental to yield, and often detrimental to yield once the crop's being harvested and it's too late to do anything about it. And it's very similar that way to sclerotinia. By the time you have a problem with Blackleg to the point that it's going to affect yield, it's too late to do anything about it for that crop.
So, old disease, same problems or new problems. So obviously you mentioned the proactive versus reactive. Not a reactive, this is not something you react to. Nope. You need to be proactive. Let's go through what are some of those proactive things you need to do.
The first one would be rotation. So if you're pushing your crop rotation, that's just going to increase. I mean, look at the disease triangle. What do you need? You need the environment. In the last few years, we've had the moisture. On irrigation in southern Alberta, we have the moisture continuously. We have the pathogen, and we've had more crop. So as a result, we've got the triple whammy, and that has really caused the inoculant to spread, to increase, and we've had more tighter rotations. And if guys can do anything, they can either look at what product are they growing? Are they growing a resistant or a multigenic product? And if they still have issues, they need to back off in their rotations. And I mean back off, go to a 3 or 4 year rotation, or even 5.
Yeah, but this is a conversation. I just talked about clubroot, and we had the same discussion. And but it's a conversation that falls on deaf ears.
Yes, it does.
So I guess reality is that we have to start listening.
We're going to have to stop listening because there's not an endless pool of resistance out there. The technology and the breeders continue to work, hard on both clubroot, and especially on Blackleg. But there's not an endless gene pool out there. So guys are going to have to help out with management for rotations, and maybe helping out with a fungicide, but really back to rotation for crops.
Do farmers that have Blackleg realize they have Blackleg? Like, is it a disease that we're identifying properly in the field?
I would think, Sean, that's a really good point. I think sometimes we mistaken it for sclerotinia until we actually get out there. And the proper way to diagnose it is that swath in time. Take your garden snips out with you, pull some plants, cut the plant right at the base. Look inside. If it's clean, if it's white, you're good to go. But if you start seeing some black lesions, then you're starting to see, okay, I've got some infection. We can also start scouting it, earlier on to see if we've got the spots on the leaves. But a lot of times growers are just very, very busy and don't take the time to do that. But at least, at the end of the year, take your, in the stubble, pull your plants, snip them, take a look. There's some great pictures on the Canola Council website that you can use from a scale from 0 to 5, which is the same scale we use to register products. And have a look at it, and then start being proactive for next year's crop.
Okay, so I identify I have it. I've got Blackleg. Okay, I'm not doomed. Nope. There are things I can do. So what do I do next?
If I have Blackleg, how severe do I have Blackleg? What's my rotation been? what hybrids have I been growing. So what are my plans for next year? It will result from answering all those questions. So if I've been tight rotations, then I've got to spread it out. If my neighbors have had a tight rotation, then I've got to plan accordingly, right? Because I can't control what my neighbors are doing, and I'm going to have to look at what crops I'm growing, what varieties I'm growing, and what resistance levels I have in there.
Is there, so when we're thinking about that rotation, we're going to incorporate some other crops besides snow and canola into our rotation. Is there any other crop, is there a certain crop that works better in breaking up the disease than others? Like wheat, barley, corn, soybeans, it doesn't matter?
Cereals work very, very well. Corn would work really, really well for breaking up for blackleg as well. So.
Okay. Bruce, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.